the morning with the Topwater. Got a bone color Spook Jr right here, and the whole premise of today's video is to be using these inline hooks on here and see if it really is kind of like a better hookup ratio from just normal treble hooks that come with it. So I have about a 2-foot section of 20-pound fluorocarbon leader, and I'm using my Penn Battle 3 2500 10-pound braid on my St. Croix Avid inshore 7-foot light action rod. This morning we have a dead low tide to start the morning, so I came here at my low tide kind of spot. All it is this flat that at the low part of the tide, most of it's kind of out of water, very, very shallow. So a lot of these fish get funneled over here into these deeper potholes at the end of the flat. So I'm gonna toss around this topwater, see if we can get a redfish or a snook, maybe a trout right quick, start the day. Just gonna work this spook right over these potholes. There's a lot of mullet popping around everywhere. Come on, just missed something right there. I like wasn't even paying attention. Got him. Got this red. I think it's a red. Yeah, it's a red. It's a decent red too, actually. Let him run on this flat, don't need super tight drag. He hit it sideways. I don't think this is the same fish that hit it the first time. It came off. Dang it. Probably got my drag too loose there. Thing with those single hooks, I guess. Yeah, it was like a mid 20-inch red. That sucks. Oh, there's a good snook. There's a good snook on the topwater right there. Oh, that was sick. Oh, look at this snook. Right where I've been casting this whole time. Oh, he popped off. How? Inline hooks, you're kind of pissing me off right now. Frame me up pretty good, so let me retie. I am like hooking the fish. It's just they're not staying pinned, which is like the thing with the treble hooks. Like it was just hard to get a hook in them, but once you got a hook in them, you're pretty good. So maybe that's like the trade-off. I don't know. I don't want to just judge it after 2 fish though. So that was like a mid 20-inch redfish and probably like a slot snook right there. Would have been a good start to the morning, but can't do anything about it now. Let's just keep fishing. Just twitch it about 5 or 6 times. Give it like a 1-second pause and then keep twitching it. That snook hit it right after the pause. Here are some of those potholes I was talking about as a big trout just shot out of this one. These are what I'm fishing. So out here on this flat, you can see it just drops down pretty deep in each one of these. And these fish like to just stack up there on the low tide. There's a bunch of them up here on this flat. Oh, come on. Oh. Let me get back over there. That was a good red. Oh, got him. Another good snook. Probably a better snook than the first one. Oh, come on. Oh, that's a really good snook. Stay hooked, please. It's coming right to the boat. That's a good snook. Come on. Coming right to the boat right here. There he goes. Yeah, that's a good snook. Try and keep his head up out of the grass. Oh yeah, that's a good snook. Just gotta be careful with the 20-pound leader. Oh, it's around his gills. That's not what I want. There we go. Around his gills again. Come on. There we go. Good snook. Up here on the flat, at low tide. Just missed a good red. Put up a good fight. Come on over here. Oh yeah, that's a good snook. Right there. Look at the size of that snook on the topwater. Okay, he engulfed this topwater too. Only had the one hook in him. Right there. Let's try and get this out. There we go. Beautiful snook. Get a measurement on this guy. Right there. That is a 30-inch snook. There we go. 30-inch snook on the topwater right up there on the flat. Probably been about a foot and a half of water right on a pothole. And this is the third fish I've missed this morning, but honestly, this is the biggest fish I've had eat, so can't complain with that. Don't want to keep them out of the water for too much longer, so I'm gonna get a release on them. There we go. Beautiful fish. Oh, already kicking. Snook will just suck on your thumb like this until they're ready to go. Just let him get the water back over his gills. He's only out of the water for probably a minute, so hopefully it doesn't take him too long so we can get on some more fish. There he goes. Right back over the flat. See you, dude. After every snook, you want to check your fray. Yep, he frayed me up a little bit, so I'm gonna go ahead and retie. Especially when there's fish like that around. I'm sure there's bigger ones, but now let's see if we can get a redfish. If we can get a redfish, then I'll give this a little bit longer, but then I'm gonna really try and go for a topwater slam. I don't think I've ever done a topwater slam. All right, let's see if we can get a red now, or another snook. Won't complain with another snook. A Spook Jr. like the one I'm using right now, especially in bone color, has to be my favorite topwater lure. Like, yeah, it's a smaller version, but yeah, I've caught some pretty big fish on this smaller version of the Spook. It just works really well and casts really well still. So it's my go-to topwater. Leave a comment down below what your go-to topwater is, and if you use either the treble hooks it comes with, or if you put inline hooks like the one I'm using on. I'm curious to see what you guys are throwing. Just aiming for these potholes on this flat. So you can see it's really shallow here. If you aim for these potholes in just little deeper sections, on low tide like this, the fish are usually just kind of funneled in there. Topwater just imitates like a small little mullet going by. Oh! That had to have been a snook. Oh, he's still on it. Oh, that was aggressive. There's just something about topwaters that just makes you so excited to go fishing. Like every single cast, you're like on your toes, waiting for some crazy to happen. Come on. That was a huge fish. Oh. I wasn't even paying attention. All right, it's been about half hour. Haven't got a single bite since that last little snook blow up, and I haven't seen a redfish or a snook in a hot minute. So I think I'm gonna pack up and go to a different spot, see if I can knock out a trout right quick on Topwater. Hopefully a big one. I heard there's some big ones around lately. And then once I get that, go exclusively for redfish for the rest of the day just to get this slam. All right, spot number 2 right here. This little sandbar island that you've probably seen me fish in the past is more of a winter spot, but I'm sure there's still some trout here. Just on this side of the island, on the other side of the island, it drops down into this little ditch area. It's about 4 feet deep here, and on each side of it, it's about a foot with grass, and there's grass on here too, and the same thing on the other side. And typically the trout and redfish like to just stack up in these deeper little pockets and wait for the water to come back on the low part of the tide. So let's see if we can get some trout on Topwater. I see some mullet pushing around, which is a good sign. Get some bait going. Oh! Oh my God. That was a massive snook that just tried to eat it when I was burning it across the surface. My heart's racing right now. See if we can get some trout here. It's now high tide and I'm pushing up pretty close to this island, but there's a lot of grass and potholes leading up to this island, so I want to see if I can get trout first before pushing up there and seeing if a red wants to play. It is now pretty much like mid-afternoon, so not the typical time I want to be throwing topwaters, but hey, we got to stick to it today. Bluebird skies, a little windy, so there's a little chop on the water. Not ideal topwater conditions, but we're gonna see if we can make it work. It'd be great for like a Miridine or something. But I'm doing just like a, oh, I got bit there. Oh, got him. My drag is so loose. Hey, got a trout right there. I was just talking about how if I don't get a trout on the topwater, I could put on a Miridine with inline hook to make this like an inline hook kind of video, but just got the, oh, he's barely hooked. That's a caught trout on the topwater. I'm gonna wet my hands, grab them right quick. Here we go. That did not take long at this spot. Middle of the afternoon too. Little guy, 14 inches. Little guy. See, dude,